Welcome to r/leopardsatemyface, where there are consequences to your actions. Starting off with, both of the co-founders of Turning Point USA died from things that were preventable, but which they mocked and urged this nation to ignore. Bill Montgomery was killed in 2020 by COVID, and Charlie Kirk was killed in 2025 by gun violence. He was killed by gun violence while arguing about gun violence. Given his last words, he was even bigoted to the very end. He truly died standing on business. Can you tell me his last words? I watched the video on mute and can't find it anymore. Something along the lines of, "Are you including gang violence?" Which is an obvious dog whistle blaming black people for then seconds later took one to the jugular. Don't forget, right before that, he also demonized trans people, blaming them for things too. All 5 of them. They're getting out of control. There's a reason the likes of myself and other political YouTubers push so much for gun regulation and dismantling of this whole gun culture thing, to end gun violence. And literally like half an hour after that, there was yet again another school shooting. If you want to see an end to gun violence, don't celebrate it, regardless of opinion, but to say this couldn't have been prevented by gun regulation and, policies that prioritize human life over whether someone has a gun or not, is incredibly naive to think. Trump ally Charlie Kirk suggests children should watch public executions. All I've got to say is I've always been incredibly shocked at the right's complete disregard for human life. Well, it was a fun trick, but unfortunately he could only do it once. Don't forget, he said empathy is dangerous. And gun deaths are necessary. I'd be surprised if this sub survives the next week, considering how things are going. I don't condone political violence, but I don't condone Kirk's death. But he advocated for a cutthroat and hateful world. I don't know if he deserved to die, but he advocated for a world where this would happen. I don't feel sad or glad that this happened. It's just what he wanted. I feel bad for his children, but out of respect for his ideals, I won't feel empathy for him. I made my opinions very well known in my Discord last night, but I'll just say this. This isn't a new thing. What happened to the Democrat lawmakers a couple of months ago that were killed in their own home? And that same person had a target list of 45 people that they were trying to kill. What happened to, Nancy Pelosi's husband was beaten in his own home by a Republican. And didn't Kirk quite literally encourage someone to pay for the attacker's bail? And something a lot of people in a certain political party have forgotten is that we're all human. Act like it. Got what you voted for. Even Sam Sanchez, a restaurant owner who voted for Trump, criticized the president's plan. And as a naturalized US citizen from Mexico, he's taking precautions. They're profiling, Sanchez said of federal agents. My wife and I went to a wedding, and I told my wife, bring your citizenship papers. Whoa, the notoriously discriminatory right are being discriminatory when they're committing mass deportations? Wow, who'd have thought? r/conservative hiding posts on Trump's message in Epstein birthday book. Bill Clinton letter in Epstein birthday book, among many. Lots of hidden comments. Now is not the time to be the political elite's spineless loyal subjects. Clinton and everyone involved should be held accountable. These birthday cards and letters are sick. Okay, I'm getting a lot of messages about the hidden replies. Is it true any comment about Trump's card is being hidden? Yes, 2 of mine have been removed. Oh look, removed. Definitely not trying to hide anything, are they? What, you say? Conservatives are shielded from epistemic reality and facts? Impossible. The billionaires didn't build their Fox propaganda industrial complex for nothing. MAGA was in war expecting the guy to be trans or left-wing, but turns out to be a straight white Mormon 4chan alt-right groiper boy. I don't really know what a groiper is, but I'm assuming it's nothing good. Let me know in the comments. Investigators find messages on bullet casings, Utah governor says. Cox says investigators found a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark towel and the gun had a scope mount on top of it. He notes there were inscriptions on bullet casings, including one which reads, "Notices bulges." There were also inscriptions on 3 unfired casings, Cox explains. Cox says some of the inscriptions include, "Hey fascist, catch. Oh Bella Ciao, and if you read this, you are gay, LaMayo." Oh, don't worry, they're still gonna somehow blame trans, brown and black people, just like every problem has been the fault of Biden, Obama, Hillary and everyone else but their orange messiah. Quote, "Never should have ended slavery." The suspected shooter was already known to be white when they were calling in threats to HBCUs. I've got a really good question. For a lot of these people out here. It's not some sort of gotcha, but where was this outrage at any of the hundreds and hundreds of previous mass shootings, school shootings, and gun violent events that resulted in people dying? Hey chat, if you guys are enjoying the Schadenfreude, you should totally like, subscribe, and share, cause it helps a lot. Anyways, back to the video. Bankrupting the MAGA farmers and buying the land is what the wealthy are doing. Donald Trump destroyed US agriculture. Yeah, he did. And you didn't see that coming when he said he was gonna, gut the government? Farmers are some of the most subsidized people in the United States, and every year they vote for the guy who wants less taxes and less government subsidies. But at least he hates queers, right? MAGA farmers now. I voted to be racist, not poor. Heartbreaking. Trump continues to betray rural Americans, this time closing the only hospital in a county that he won by nearly 2/3. Another California county is losing its only hospital after feds refuse to step in. Oh, but there should be no complaints from them. Medical science is woke bullshit, right? When they get sick, they should take medical advice from RFK. I'm sure he'll tell them to eat koala snot and drink liquid nitrogen to cure themselves. You actually forgot the essential oils? Well, we should all be complaining, but I've been told to get over myself and not be such a liberal snowflake that is easily triggered by watching people be mistreated and hurt. I have taken their advice to heart and will sit back and watch their world burn, I guess. You have listened to RFK Jr., and you've got dysentery and lost the Oregon Trail. Good job. Trump voter realized he got betrayed by Trump and wishes that Biden should have run again. President Trump, your promise was bring gas price down. It was cheaper when Biden was president. Get your grammar up, Jesus. Trump. It's time for people to start working versus relying on the government with our hard tax money. I think you mean hard-earned tax money. Like I said, get your grammar up. Make America great again. Trump supporters for life. Again, forgive me if I'm wrong, aren't the majority of states that take your hard tax money, not hard-earned or anything, just hard tax money, aren't they red states? Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I've seen that somewhere, right? Yes, agree. How about you vote for Kamala next time? Nope. So it wasn't the fact Biden wasn't running, it was the fact that you didn't want to vote for a woman. A person of colour. Yeah, that tells me a lot about you. It honestly boggles my mind why some people utilising government programs will willingly vote for someone campaigning on ending government spending, to end programs, and never connect the dots that are putting themselves at risk. They just survey the garbage fire they lit, smile, and say, "This is fine," like the dog from the comic. Epstein survivor votes for Trump. Chicken votes for Colonel Sanders. Jenna Lisa Jones, Center, hugs Haley Robinson, right, as Rep. MTG speaks during a news conference at the US Capitol. In an appearance on CNN Monday morning, Haley Robinson, a registered Republican and survivor of late sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, rebuked Donald Trump's administration's response after Robson and other survivors made their voices heard last week on Capitol Hill. On Friday, Trump again called for an end to any effort to force the release of the files, saying it was time to end the Democrat Epstein hoax. You know, that's basically just an admission you're on it, right? Like, you say that every time you do something and want to deny it. You call it a Democrat hoax. Like, you're basically just confessing at this point. In a lengthy post on Truth Social, Trump likened the case to Democratic efforts to connect him with Russia, saying the Democrats were doing so to deflect and distract from the great success of a Republican president. He added that the Justice Department had done its job. Okay, so where's the arrests? Waiter, can I have some Epstein arrests, please? And given everything requested of them. Well, so given nothing because you requested nothing. CNN's Pamela Brown asked Robson, who has said she voted for Trump in 2024, if she had heard from the White House after inviting them to meet with her and other survivors. Robson bluntly said, "I've heard crickets." Holocaust survivor votes for Hitler. Literally this. What the hell is wrong with these people? Education and critical thinking skills. Why would you vote for the person that over and over again has been proven to be a pred, as someone who's survived that? Jeez. The only good abortion is my abortion. Ah yes, the oh-so-common political narcissist response. I want a bunch of legislation that, like, fucks everyone else over, but I still want to be able to do it, and I still want to have all the protections in the world, and do what I want. But, you know, everyone else can go fuck themselves. Please be a judgment-free zone. I do not support abortions. However, I just found out that I'm pregnant. My BF and I have a 2-year-old, and I've been miserable since I got pregnant with the first. We rarely have sex, and when we do, we're careful. Anyway, when I told him, we got into a huge fight. Long story short, I feel like I have to have an abortion despite my beliefs. And he told me if I do it, I can't talk to him about it. So I'm doing all of this alone, just like parenting. I can't afford it, let alone another baby. Does anyone know where I can get help? Even Planned Parenthood with assistance is too much for me. Conservatives live to be hypocrites. It's a power move for them. I can do what I forbid you to do. Deal with it. And don't judge me. Guarantee you, this person voted and supported Roe v. Wade getting overturned. And they're just fucking lucky that they still live in an area where abortion's legal.